Hi everyone, it's Joey Remenyi from seekingbalance.com.au. I'm going to answer a common question today about listening to our bodily sensations or symptoms and the nuance and the difference between listening to the underlying wisdom that the body is communicating to us through those sensory pathways. So why are those neural signals repeatedly being expressed through the body? Versus listening to quote unquote symptoms, focusing on symptoms and trying to get rid of symptoms. So really it's about our relationship to the body and our intention behind what we're listening for and looking for. Whenever we focus on quote unquote symptoms, and I say that because they're bodily sensations, I invite everybody to really release use of the word symptom, because instantly that puts us in a place of judgment, abnormalizing, feeling wrong, feeling bad, feeling that there's something to fix. But what if there is no problem to fix? What if it's actually perfectly designed for us to hear that tinnitus, feel that dizziness, experience that pain? What if the feeling and experience of that neurological process is potentially our body's way of saying, my boundaries are being violated in the workplace, or my boundaries are being violated at home in certain relationships? And what if the body is like our compass or our internal dashboard, and there is genuine wisdom and useful information for us to heed, to listen to pause, take stock, and speak up or take action? So focusing on symptoms and trying to get rid of them is likely to perpetuate the trauma patterns and perpetuate the symptoms themselves. And by that, I mean trying exercises to get rid of symptoms, trying devices, trying drugs, going to therapies. All of that keeps us caught up in this loop of being abnormal, being a patient, seeking external fixes, external answers. So I invite you to think about the body as this incredibly intelligent vehicle. Your body is the filter between you and the outer world. And when things happening in the outer world are not nourishing for your body at some level, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, the body is digesting life, digesting the outer world. And when things are not working for us, not nourishing, the body will somaticize, which means sensations or symptoms will begin to whisper and then get a little louder until they're screaming at us to actually make changes and to adjust how we're in relationship to the outer world. And this is where the Rocksteady process really helps people slow down and look at the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual parts of life. How am I in relationship to myself, to my body, and with the outer world? So I hope that helps bring forward a little bit of clarity with the nuance, that it's about honoring the sensations and what that signal might be representing. What is the underlying wisdom? Sometimes I use the analogy of the smoke versus the fire. If we're constantly looking at the smoke, we're never putting the fire out. And in many ways, I would say our bodily sensations are like the smoke. It's not really about the sensation themselves. It's about going underneath into the underlying patterns and looking at, okay, what could I change? What parts of my relationship to self or relationship to the world are not nourishing for me? And very, very common examples of that could be, am I getting enough time to myself? Am I valuing myself? Am I giving my power away? Am I prioritizing everybody else's needs and just becoming a cook and a taxi and really losing myself? Am I connected to my own pleasure and joy? Am I in my body with aliveness and pleasure and presence? Or am I constantly distracting myself, busy and chasing bright, shiny objects out and about in the external world, and I'm really not present with myself? So there's lots and lots of patterns that we're all using a little bit of radical honesty to turn our gaze inwards and have these deep and meaningful conversations, first and foremost with ourselves. And when we're ready, then with the world around us, with our loved ones, with our community, with our village, with the wider world. So thank you for submitting the question. Visit seekingbalance.com.au to learn more about my communities, my programs, my resources, my book. And I look forward to hearing about how you are going with your explorations, and keep the questions coming. So it's a bye for now.